Hello everyone, and welcome to our Spider-Man Let's Play. We continue our web-slinging adventure with picking up the trail.
Spider-Man, here to lend a hand?
Thought you might need one, officer.
You don't know the half of it. Never seen anything like this devil's breath stuff. Forensics is having a hell of a time.
News reports say this is where Otto released Devil's Breath. Might have left some residue I can track. Some residue on this sign. Maybe I can isolate it. AT-rich leader sequence. This looks promising.
Now, as of the moment, as you guys can see, we have these double layers here, so we're going to have to essentially do a little bit of adding and subtracting. So, kind of taking a look at some of our pieces here, this looks to be a good first start. However, as you guys can see, we do also need to negate that middle piece there. Moving over to this one, looks like maybe a very similar story, but let's take a look and see if we can add this piece, and then we'll navigate all the way over here and add this final piece. And then once again, a very similar story as to what we've been seeing so far. I'm going to venture and say that we might be looking more at a quad here, and then maybe heading over to this piece to add, but also subtract a single unit.
Oscorp's modified CPF-1. Definitely Devil's Breath. Should be able to track the dispersal path now. The trail goes in a few directions. Need to find the right one.
Well, very interesting. Do we go left or do we go right? Right looks to be like there's a little bit more action over here, so I'm a little bit more interested in wanting to head over this direction. Let's take a look and see kind of where we're potentially going to be heading to.
The trail heads up that building.
Now, once again, it looks like we're actually going to be heading all the way over to this other building here. So, once again, going to be heading all the way up to the tippy top here.
What was Otto doing up here? Should be a door or an access hatch around here.
Now let's actually scan and see if we can't locate exactly what we need to be looking for. As you guys can see, it looks like we have a few different piping systems over there, but everything does lead to this unit.
Let there be light. Whoa. Was Otto using this as a staging ground? Chaos of the prison break would have been perfect cover to move in. Looks like Otto's been studying Sable's tech for weaknesses.
Feel like I can't turn around without seeing his face. He smiles for the cameras, collects his accolades, and keeps his boot heel pressed against my neck. Why can't anyone else see how selfish he is? How reckless, how evil? If only they could be made to see the Norman I know. The man behind the mask.
Mac Gargan, aka Scorpion, aka Crazy Pants McCrazy. Looks like Otto recorded messages for his crew.
It's rare for me to admit this, Mr. Gargan. Clearing your debts was more difficult than I anticipated. You're in arrears to some demanding individuals. But once the reservoir job is finished, your financial obligations will be finished as well. Otto Octavius is nothing if not persuasive.
Scorpion's helping Otto in exchange for a clean slate. Criminal record expunged? Gambling debts erased? old man Vulture. I've tangled with him more than anyone else here. Power source for Vulture's wings gave him spinal cancer, and Otto's developing an experimental treatment to save him.
Adrian, what bitter irony that your miraculous wings should have brought such horrors on your body. Thankfully, you are now working for me. When our work is settled, the treatment I've developed will cure you. You won't shuffle off this mortal coil just yet, my friend.
Electro. Total live wire, that one. Electro's big pipe dream is to become pure energy. Doc actually managed to modify his harness to get a little closer to that goal.
Max, when you first conveyed your dream to me, I thought you insane. Pure energy. But as I dove deeper into the problem, I discovered a way to give us both what we desire. I promise you, when we are done, you will be pure energy. Or so close to it as to make the difference irrelevant.
What's this now? Otto must have used this map to plan, but it's blank. Unless there's something here I'm missing. UV bulb. Huh, nothing happened. Must be a way to get that lamp on. There we go. Hidden markings. Otto's tasked the villains to destroy Oscorp holdings throughout the city. He's trying to take apart Norman's empire piece by piece. Otto's rage is driving him. The neural interface is exacerbating it, but his hate is genuine. He'll destroy the whole city to hurt Norman. Martin Lee. Can't believe this is the same man I knew at Feast. Seems like Otto and Lee have more of a history than I thought. How long have they known each other?
Oh, Martin. When I first realized it was you targeting Osborn these past weeks, I was shocked and saddened. But then, as the situation evolved before my eyes, I felt inspired. You took the bold steps I had always dreamed of, Martin, and you took them without hesitation. I am honored now to join you on this path towards true justice.
Good old Rhino. My second favorite Russian. Otto developed a corrosive to free Rhino from his suit. A certain government agency spent years trying and failing to do that. Only took Otto a few days.
Alexei, I've followed your career with great interest. The world sees you as a witless dullard. I see a warrior with a poet's heart. I know you desire freedom from the battlesuit you're sealed inside. Help me achieve my goals, and freedom shall be yours.
Seems like the last stage of the plan is a direct assault on Oscorp. And most likely, Norman. What's Vulture doing in Times Square? I need to keep my guard up. Electro's disabling Oscorp power plants. Makes sense. Rhino's targeting Oscorp's shoreline properties. Which is he hitting first? And why? Scorpion must be trying to poison the city's reservoir. Another Oscorp-owned property. Lee's going after the Devil's Breath anti-serum, using something called Icarus?
Oscorp has snaked itself throughout the city. Power, communication, public safety. Norman made his company essential, but also fragile. If a disaster were to occur, and a few small pressure points were tweaked, it would all fall apart. The public would see Norman for what he is, a leech on their lives. Yes, just a few simple steps, and he would be ruined forever. How many men would I need? Well, let's see. First, some kind of disaster. A hurricane, an earthquake, or a plague. Next, assaults on Oscorp's power grid and emergency relief. Send the city into chaos. Let the people see the truth about Norman. Yes, just a handful of men. No more than a half dozen. A sinister 6. Martin has been arrested. Norman looks pleased, believes he's safe. He has no idea. He's just put all the rotten eggs a man might need into a single basket. With Martin in raft, alongside Scorpion, Rhino, Vulture, and Electro, a single swift kick is all it would take to send those eggs tumbling down the hill, straight at Oscorp and Norman. Yes, just one small kick. I think it's time for me to lace up my boots and climb the hill. This is my final recording. Peter, if you're listening to this, please know that I did what I thought was just. It may have been extreme, but when it comes to Norman, half measures will never do. Of all that I risk by taking this next step, the loss of our friendship will pain me the most. I hope that if we meet again, it will not be on opposite sides.
Icarus. This is it.
Hello, Spider-Man. We've never been properly introduced. I'm
Otto Octavius. There is no Icarus, is there?
No. Martin needs no assistance to secure the anti-serum. Icarus was a ruse to get you into position.
Into position? Huh?
Need a lift? So refreshing to work for a man like Octavius. Backup plans for his backup plans.
MJ, hey!
Pete? Are you okay? What's happening?
Traffic's rough. Listen, Lee's gunning for the anti-serum. We need to find Oscorp's Devil's Breath lab before he does.
On it right now. Pull up every building permit in the city. If there's a record of the lab, I'll find it.
That's great. Okay, talk soon, MJ.
Trap failed? Softened him up. Time for plan B.
Teamwork's beautiful, ain't it? Helping you reach those unattainable goals. Like killing Spider-Man.
That was almost heartwarming, Electro. You really grew in prison, didn't you? Not even close, Max. As usual. Miss me, now you got it. You know what? Forget I said anything. That got it. Now I can get closer. Need to web the transformeries over.
Pete, you're up!
No, Adrian! It's me, Spider-Man!
What are you babbling about?
Nobody ever gets my jokes.
Our long feud ends tonight, insect.
Phew! Thought we had a healthy give and take! Man, have I misread this relationship! Time to do some damage.
Now we're trying to get back over to him so that way we can deal some really good damage, considering that he's not really as powerful as the other adversaries, so obviously this is a great opportunity to try to utilize some of our mobility, especially in these times of crisis here. Now, as of the moment, still trying to use our mobility just a bit. It looks like he is all the way on the other side here, so this is obviously not going to be working out too well for him, but we do have to give him props. He did his very best.
Break you.
You got it! You got my joke! I'm so happy I can almost stop fighting! Almost!
Alright, looks like we have a 2-on-1 here at the moment, so this is not really the way that we would hope that this would go down, but let's see if we can't focus on Birdman, considering that he seems to be a little less powerful than the other guy. Obviously, electricity is incredibly beneficial about hurting us, and we're not really a huge fan of that, especially in these times of crisis. Now, I am trying to get over to this gentleman. It looks like we might be finding ourselves in kind of a electric moment here, so hopefully we can try to get away from this guy if we can. I'm still really interested in wanting to try to get over to Electro here, but obviously he's pretty agile in a lot of these cases, so it gets to be a little tricky, especially when we're trying to really stay close, but I think we're going to be able to do some good damage to this guy, though. Now, as of the moment, I have not been able to identify exactly how much health that these guys may have left. I know that we're doing pretty well, ultimately, but I think if we can get a little bit closer, I think this might be really beneficial for us. Now, it looks like, unfortunately, he might not be susceptible to stuns anymore, so it looks like we may have to utilize some different abilities, especially in these CQB moments. I keep trying to go for that finisher because I feel like we've just stunned him just enough to maybe be useful here, but unfortunately to no avail. That does not seem to be working exactly the way I would have hoped. Now it looks like we're going to be able to deal a little bit of additional damage to Electro this time around, so this is great. Obviously, sharing is caring ultimately, and I'm sure that these guys may not agree with the sentiment as much as maybe we were moments ago, but nevertheless, I still feel like it's a great, valuable lesson for these guys to learn. Fortunately, that pole came out of nowhere. Fortunately, I think we might just be a little too far out of range here, but ultimately, I think that it's really close to being triggered, and I think we're going to be able to do just enough. They keep saying that, but I feel like ultimately we have been standing a chance this entire time, so I feel like we have to be the burden of bad news for these guys. Did a little bit of damage to us, but unfortunately maybe not as much as he would have hoped. These guys disappear so easily, sometimes I have a difficult time of locating them, especially in these moments where it'd be really important. Still kind of finding that these guys are still kind of hovering around here, so let's try to get nice and close and deal a little extra damage.
Drop his guard first.
Drop his guard? I feel like we've been dropping his guard the entire match here. I don't know about that, but let's see if we can't get nice and close to him maybe for just a brief moment.
Should check on Sparky.
Well, rest assured, I know Sparky has been doing perfectly fine this entire time, so I am definitely not concerned that he has not been doing well. I feel like he's been doing too well in many cases.
What's happening?
Electro's been grounded.
Spider-Man, I presume. If you really cared about this city, you'd be helping me expose Osborn for the criminal he is.
By killing innocent people?
I would have restored the power.
You're sick. You need help.
I have all the help I need, and we will not stop until Norman gets what he deserves.
I hate it when they team up. Just need to catch my breath. What time? Oh man,